It's often necessary to determine the boundaries of a resource area as defined by the Wetlands Protection Act. In this video clip, we're looking at how to delineate the boundary of a bordering vegetated wetland, otherwise referred to as a BVW. A BVW is a freshwater wetland which borders or touches a surface water body. Under the Wetland Protection Act, a BVW must have 50% or more wetland indicator plants and evidence of saturated or inundated conditions, otherwise referred to as hydrology. The presence of hydric soils is generally a strong indicator of wetlands hydrology. A wetland delineation usually begins with a desktop review of readily available online data sources, including topographic maps and aerial photographs. These data sources can indicate the presence of streams and other surface water bodies in the study area, as well as wetlands, floodplain habitat, and vernal pools. Topographic features can also be useful when determining if low-lying areas or depressions are present that might warrant further investigation when visiting the site. The presence of a floodplain can indicate the presence of larger rivers and streams or potential areas of seasonal flooding that could result in the presence of a BVW. When arriving at the site, it's important to first read the landscape and understand the sources of hydrology within the study area. With experience in the field and proper training, a person can identify generally where they think the wetland boundaries exist on a given site, and then narrow their analysis to transitional areas where the boundary between uplands and wetlands is less apparent. Identify the vegetation in the area to determine whether it is wetlands vegetation or uplands vegetation. Look for pockets of standing water or water-stained leaves and drift lines on the trunks of trees. Use an auger or tile spade to dig into the ground and look at the soil for evidence that has been saturated with water. Use a Munsell soil color chart to compare the soil color to color samples that are indicative of wetland soils. All of these pieces will help put the puzzle together to identify the correct wetland boundary. Place flags at the wetland boundary. With this information, you'll be in a better position to determine where the wetland boundary begins and ends. Remember, it's not an exact science, as there are no straight lines in nature.